Hey everybody, Felchar Rash. Welcome back to day 64 of 365 Days of Irish Tenor Banjo Tunes. Today we're going to go back to jigs, and it's a funny thing, I was trying to go through the book and find one to play, and just kind of, I do the first few bars, make sure they're not going to be too crazy, and I've kind of lost that down, up, down, down, up, down jig picking rhythm, so this will be useful to help with that. It's also an interesting one. The B part has some kind of different rhythms to get through. So a slight challenge, but it's still in the key of D. So we're doing Paddy's Return, otherwise known as Kitty Lie Over, number 120 in the big book of 365 Irish tunes, which, as I've mentioned many other times before, comes from James Finnegan, the Banjo Buddy. You can look him up on YouTube. It's a great resource. He's also got a good beginner's banjo book, Irish tenor banjo book. And that's kind of how I got started, and I found it worthwhile, between that and looking up people on YouTube. So if you're just joining us for the first time, this is my New Year's resolution: pick up the banjo at least once a day, try and learn a new tune, and I post them on YouTube more for accountability for myself than any sort of tutorial. But I do play pretty slow, so if you want to play along and you're a beginner, you might find it a little more accessible than maybe some of the really crazy fast players that are out there, although I don't guarantee I get everything right. I'm new at this, and I'm Irish in lineage only. So yeah, we'll do it first time through nice and slow like always, and then I'll do some practice, try and speed it up. So, Paddy's Return. Maybe I'll just quick tutorial. So on a jig, what we're going for is emphasis on the 1 and the 3. So if you think of 6/8, it's 2 sets of 3/8 notes, which should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sorry, the emphasis is on the 1 and the 4, not the 1 and the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the way you can accomplish that is down, up, down, down, up, down. And you're putting emphasis on that first. So down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So when I'm going through it this first time nice and slow, I can really concentrate and work on that. And it is worthwhile every once in a while to just really slow your playing down. Going fast is great. Makes the tune sound more Irish. It's always very fast and jumpy, but I think your technique can sacrifice when you're first just starting out. So definitely worthwhile playing a little bit slower every once in a while. So let's try this first time through really nice and slow. So when you do it like that, you can go really nice and slow, and that gives you the time to think. And it's mostly those ones where you're changing strings. So if I'm here, for example, I'm on the 2nd string, 4th fret, and then my next note after that is an open A. So I'm going to go, it's just so easy to want to go, but then it sets you up wrong for the next note. So you go, and I try and constantly think of pulling that one up. For example, like that's, you know, actually in that case it was the wrong notes, but that just, it's an example of when you're switching strings if you want to try and keep thinking of it. And in particular, I find it when you get those ones that are kind of, you know, oh, where's a good example? So we're going to go, sorry, we're on the 2. So that's 3/8 notes. And then it's a quarter. So if I think, what should that next 8th note be? I want to start with another down. Right? So when you're going really nice and slow, it just gives you that time to think. And if you practice that every once in a while, it starts to become much more second nature. So when you go and speed it up, it feels better. Anyways, just a couple beginner tips from beginner to beginners. We'll go practice and try to speed it up now.